Bro, we have some new Thor Love and Thunder photos. Valkyrie and Jane look swole and stunning. I mean, would you just look at Chad May? Wow. But beyond the lady buff juice in the picture, my eyes zoomed in on that lovely goddess in the bottom right. But could this mean that Bast is getting fucked up by Gore the God Butcher, connecting to Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and more importantly, the death of T'Challa? What's up? I'm Kendall with Normies Nerds, where we bring you the latest in MCU nerdy and blurty news. Please hit that subscribe button and become one of our first 1,000 subscribers to the channel. So let's talk about this photo, because right now, that's all we got. And I mean, they didn't have to include Bast in the photo, and there would still be a lot of stuff to talk about. But they clearly did, so I'm gonna take the bait and just go for it and ask, what the fuck is Bast doing in that picture? And like, we've only seen her in the MCU in Panther form, and here she is in human form, hanging out with the Asgardians. Like, what the hell is going on? I mean, for Bast to be there, it has to be big. I mean, while yeah, this could just be the first time we've seen this type of thing going on among the gods to be in one place, but I really feel like there has to be a real threat for the godly hood to come out in one accord. And when I say the godly hood, I'm assuming there's a plethora of gods there, not just human gods, but possibly alien gods in the MCU that they worship in their cultures as well. But with that being said, with the plethora of gods for them to choose from and that are in the MCU, Marvel decides to show Bast in this picture. So why? Well, the simple, non-nerdy answer and more logical one is that they simply teased her out because she is a god that we would recognize, especially with that headpiece that takes all of the guessing out of it. I mean, they also tease Zeus and everybody knows him, so teasing Bast as well makes sense because people like me and you will get hyped and tell people that the piece of Wakanda will be in Thor 4. I'm gonna just be real, with Wakanda Forever coming up and them inevitably having to deal with the death of Chadwick Boseman and his character of T'Challa, this joint right here hits different, bro. Like, despite the rumors of Namor or Doom, that's been the most talked about topic. How would they deal with T'Challa and who will be the next Black Panther? And that is where we start to make nerd logic and speculate, what the hell is Bast doing in a story about guys being killed, and what could that mean for Black Panther 2 and T'Challa? So let's get into it. Pop a speculation pill, smash that subscribe button, and let's take this trip. Now, I actually have a few theories on how they could handle Chadwick's passing and the character of T'Challa. Some I find respectful, and some I honestly just don't fuck with, but we got a whole different video coming for that. But I think having T'Challa's death connected to Bast is something that is highly possible. I'd even say it's like top 3 when it comes to the possibilities on my list. I mean, during the Moon Knight series, there was a tad bit of hype that we could see Bast show up in the show as she was an original part of the Ennead, and now we know that Gore the God Butcher was scraped from appearing in the Moon Knight series. But with that being said, some of the smartest and theory-driven nerds on the internet felt that Bast would be added to Gore's hit list. I even mentioned this in a previous Thor 4 video. Now look, I would hate for them to introduce us to Bast in this form, only to kill her in the same movie. I mean, honestly, having Bast die is like one of the biggest things I hate about this theory. But if she were to die, I could see that having an immediate impact on her avatar by way of the Herd's Black Panther. As we've seen other Ennead gods use avatars to impact the real world, Bast seems to not want to imprison the protector of Wakanda. Rather, she empowers them by giving them the heart-shaped herb. However, Killmonger burned all of that shit. T'Challa supposedly took the last bit of it, which could mean the only way to connect with Bast in the ancestral plane is to call on her face to face where she would show up in her Panther form. And yo, on a quick side note, I bet that she has a little bit of beef with T'Challa. Like, she gave the Black Panther the power to protect Wakanda, and in light of what has happened with T'Challa, Killmonger, and then Thanos, I can see Bast being pissed. But anyway, to get back to Bast and T'Challa, and sorry if this is a letdown to this theory, but when it comes to explaining T'Challa's death being caused by Bast being butchered by Gore, I don't think there needs to actually be a deep explanation. This could be a case of just saying, like, look, Bast died in Thor 4, T'Challa died at the same time. That way you don't have to see it on screen. You can say that all of the avatars of the gods who were killed also died on Earth. But for real, beyond T'Challa, the death of Bast could even have a bigger impact on the movie and could bring a more emotional element. Because when I see the Wakandans calling on Bast after T'Challa's death, or after Namor invades the nation, and not feel her presence, like, yo, the faith in Bast is dying, and I could argue that that is even worse than the actual god herself being killed. Actually, prior to the final battle, something that would create a beautiful moment with Shuri, assuming that she takes the lead role, she ventures to the location where Bashinga, the first Black Panther, met the goddess and received the herb. That's when she calls out to Bast, calling on her faith in the goddess, leading her to be resurrected. You know, that would be a huge character arc for Shuri, as she was someone who mocked the traditions and was someone who reluctantly prayed over T'Challa to be brought back to life. But then when he was brought back to life, I can see that being a huge spark in her faith in Bast. But yeah, having Shuri to be the driving force to resurrect Bast and give power back to the nation of Wakanda would be a great way to kind of put a stamp on that Wakanda Forever notion in this movie. And having T'Challa be the inspiration behind her faith and having T'Challa be the inspiration behind her calling on Bast could be what they are calling the great way to honor his legacy and to keep it alive in the film. But none of that theoretically happens if Bast isn't killed by Gore the God Butcher in Thor 4. If she has to die in the movie, I think that is the way I would like it to go down and how I would like for it to connect to Wakanda Forever. Now back to this picture and what is going on there. But first, if you are still here, bruh, if you're enjoying this video, please just drop a sub to the channel, man. Come on, help a brother out. I'm agreeing with what a lot of folks are saying, that this is at a pantheon or assembly of the gods as they're discussing what Gore the God Butcher is doing. I mean, it gives me the same vibes from what we saw from Mount Olympus in the first Thor 4 trailer, and that everyone here looks hella concerned. Also, a quick side note theory, notice how Valkyrie's fit is black and silver now? I'm wondering if this is like her equivalent to Thor's new powered up suit. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Thor 2, he's not sitting here, right? But I think that's because he's speaking to the gods about what Gore has been doing. And we do know that he is out following Gore's trail, but the gods could look down on Thor considering the fact that he is the only god that has been intervening in human life, and he still failed to protect his people and humans. But anyway, this moment in the picture here is either from when Thor is laying out what is happening throughout the cosmos to the gods, or when the gods are reacting to what is happening throughout the overworld. Also, I love the details on those chairs, like how Asgard has 2 chairs and the designs on them and how they differ from Bast chairs in the different cultures. I think that's dope. But all in all, I think this movie is a 10 out of 10 in the making and could be the best in Phase 4. All of the elements seem to be there, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out on screen. Because Jane is looking swole as fuck, and Valkyrie is just looking straight up badass. This movie is probably going to be hella fun, but also probably hella emotional too, because that cancer storyline still might be in there. Look, like I said, 10 out of 10 in the making. But let me know what you think in the comment section below about how this movie could connect to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I want to hear your theories, hear your thoughts. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. Just let me know some in the comments, even if you just want to send a sub. Like I said, drop a sub to the channel. And thank you if you did. I'll see y'all in the next video.